All right, so I skipped ahead a little bit. I finished the stitching around the toe. You can see I had to tuck it in really tight because I'll show you why in a second. And then I immediately went outside and glued on the outsole. This is just, I showed you how I sanded down this part back here to be flat, and then simulation of what I did was glue, outsole, gauze. It's not structural glue. It's just to hold it in place while we stitch. But I'm gonna show you a few things that you want to be wary about. You want these, if you're using a studded sole, you want these studs to kind of line up with the center of the boot. I may have done a not great job at that. Some of these studs are pretty close to this outside right here, so some of the stitching may go over these outside studs. That's not a big deal. It'll be fine. One thing that was really scary when I was doing the stitch down is you look how close, like the midsole, I trimmed off this edge just to see where the midsole was actually at. That there's very little room to work with out here on the edge. I would prefer if the midsole had been much further over to the side. You can see I just did not line it up properly. The center of the toe, the midsole is over here. Should have been right here. But I had gotten so far with the pegging and the stitching that it was going to be just a monumental task to redo it. It may have even destroyed the upper. So I looked at it and I was like, I think it's going to work. And it still should work. I should be able to slide one stitch right through there for the outsole. But it's not going to take much sanding up there. So yeah, it's a little bit scary, but I guess it should still work out. That bump is a little scary right there, but it should stitch down okay. We'll see. It might be getting sanded a little bit close to the threads when the time comes. But we'll see. All those bumps should be fine. They're kind of further out, and they're because of, just the shape of the toe. When it sands down, it should, and gets all stitched down, hopefully it'll lay down more. I can't say for sure. I don't know. Stuff on the side of the boot. Anyway, yeah, glued on. Tried to center this as much as possible. Needed to get, so like I said before, this is narrower than the midsole I'm using, so I had to be very careful to make sure there's enough room to stitch in on this side and enough room to stitch in on this side. And I wanted to make sure that the heel comes back far enough to stitch out and the toe comes out far enough. So just a game of being careful. And so the next thing is I got to take out the last. Hopefully this is going to be much easier than the previous time. Sorry, I'm walking around in a very narrow area trying to get some tools to help me get this last out. So on one side it should be easier because I hopefully did not peg the shoe into the last. On the other side, I also forgot to put any baby powder in this one. Yeah, they don't have baby powder. Apparently that's a big deal. But too fucking late now, huh? I mean, if the other one got pegged in and we got that out, I think we should be able to get this one out. This is probably a bad idea. Trying to do this without whatchamacallit? Tripod. Okay, I'm gonna find a tripod and I'll be back.